Like, where's your bollocks, Tyson Fury? Where's your bollocks, Tyson Fury? Like, if you really wanted this AJ fight, you have not said anything negative about this situation. You have not said how disappointed you are. You have not looked at your promoters, who clearly could have terminated this contract a long time ago, and go, what have you done? You've just cost me, not just probably $50 or $60 million, you've cost me the chance to fight the biggest fight of all time, the undisputed fight, because you've dropped the ball. And if you haven't dropped the ball, why are you not fighting this? Why are you not trying to come up with a plan B? I've not seen one thing from Tyson Fury to say, I can't believe this, I'm devastated. We had a deal in place, I was happy, everyone was happy. Guys, I'm sorry.
What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. So we just heard there from Eddie Hearn airing out Tyson Fury. Listen, Tyson, what do you want to call? Should I call him? Tyson, the backless one. Tyson Fury's got no back left because he shit it all out. Bottom line, Tyson Fury shit all his backside right out for him over the last week. In fact, over the last 6 months, Fury, I've heard from Fury's physician, he's been having chronic bowel movements for 6 months straight. And the reason, I got a few dons in my family, yeah, who suffer with bowel issues, irritable bowel syndrome and whatnot. And it's an awful disease, it's an awful illness to have. Yeah, all you can do is just keep cacking your pants 24/7, head of watery looking ass. Yeah, for the last 6 months, Tyson Fury has been suffering with that. The thought of AJ, we don't know a lot about irritable bowel syndrome. What we do know is it can be caused by a multitude of factors, psychological ailments and whatnot. And I'm hearing from Fury's physician, just the thought, the things that AJ does to Fury psychologically, just had him shitting himself for 6 months, is what I'm hearing. Again, oh, YB haven't, no, this right here is from Fury's physician himself. I spoke to him. Fury's got chronic, his bowels are just loosey-gooseyed. People are actually wondering who's a more loose, Billy Hose, after Alvarez stretched him out. Yeah, after Alvarez stretched Billy Ho's ring out for him, all the way out, 22-foot ring. Alvarez left Billy Ho with a 22-foot ring piece, no doubt. And after that, people are questioning who's more loosey-goosey, Fury's bowels or Billy's. It's one of them ones, they're both competing, who's been stretched out the most. But listen, what we do know is the thought of AJ has made Fury's insides just rotting away. Yeah, he hasn't been able to hold anything in, any nutrients. And that's why, what do we know? In the last week, Fury came out and said, oh, I'm so happy. Oh, hell, I'm so happy. Oh, he came out and he was celebrating, and because, again, like I said, when that pressure of AJ has essentially, psychologically, had his foot on Fury's neck for 6 months. So when he got released out of that problem, when he no longer had to, now AJ didn't have to be on his mind 24/7. All of a sudden, his bowel ailments fixed themselves, and now he feels better. He feels great. He's been cured. That's why he's bouncing off the walls and is happy and celebrating. No longer does Fury have to shit himself all day, every day. So in a way, I feel for it's a bit of a, what would you call it? It's a bit of a bittersweet here, because yes, like I said, I've got people in my family who suffer with that disease, and it's not a nice one. That said, I would have liked to have seen the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? It's 6 of one and half a dozen of another. It's great for Fury, personally speaking. Yes, you can now sleep well at night. Yes, you can now not have to wear a nappy. But in the day, we want to see the fight. And why is it Fury? Why is it Wilder? Yeah, I understand that Wilder is a blown-up cruiserweight. So I get why you're not scared of him. The reason Fury don't mind fighting Wilder is 200 pounds soaking wet. Do you understand? Cruiserweights have to cut weight to make 200 pounds. Wilder weighed in at 209. That is a cruiserweight weight. Do you understand that? Wilder weighed in at 209. That's what cruiserweights weigh in at. I know UFC fighters who lose 20 pounds. Literally lose 20 pounds. Wilder weighs in at light heavyweight, more or less. That's why Fury likes to fight Wilder. It's a soaking wet light heavyweight. But also, Wilder gets the credit of being he's a big punching heavyweight. What people don't realise is Wilder has never knocked out anyone with a chin. Anyone who's decent. When Bermain Stavern turned up and actually wanted to fight, Wilder couldn't do nothing with him. Yeah? Anyone who's turned up to win, all of a sudden, Mr. Big Power can't do nothing, can't punch for nothing. Wilder, in the second Fury fight, can't do nothing. Shock. So that's why Fury loves to fight Wilder. He's a blown up light heavyweight. Yeah? No doubt. I'm under no illusions. Wilder is a light heavyweight. He could make light heavyweight, no doubt. 100% he could make light heavyweight. If he really tried to for a camp. So that's why Fury likes to go in there with a 200 pound or 100 pound weight advantage. Fury comes in 280 and he's fighting a light heavyweight. There you go, 100 pounds. AJ, fully fledged, 240 pounder. Yeah, not soaking wet, 200 pound of lean mass, not chubby, not soft like Dillian White, lean. Fury don't want that. Have you seen Fury's back? Do you think Fury's back bouncing around the place? Fury's back, I've heard that Fury's back is like a 32 double D or something, I think. Not 32, sorry. I think Fury's back's like a 45 double D. Got a big bubbly bubble, isn't it? Big bubbly looking ass on the back. Fury's got a double D back. Yeah? Lovely. To be fair, all he needs to do is draw some nipples on there and it will look real. You know what I'm saying? Get the YB rock hard some more. Big, you know what I'm saying? What is that? That's why. Look at Fury's back. Anyone YB, what are you talking about? Anyone who wants to know, go and look at Fury's back. Yeah? YB, it's a good fight, is it? Fury's back says that AJ will run straight through him. Straight through him. Just like Fury's dinner's been running straight through him for the last 6 months. Until last week. When the judge saved Fury, allegedly. Again, I'm not even sure there was a judge. I think they made it all up, but whatever. End of the day, like we heard from Eddie Hearn, Hearn's airing him out. Where are your nuts, Fury? Fury, where are your nuts? But the thing is with Eddie talks about, listen, Fury, are you not bothered at all? I can't blame Eddie, we can't blame Fury. If you'd been plagued with 6 months of this condition, of AJ-itis, if you've been plagued with that, you know what I'm saying? Of course he's going to be happy. Fury hasn't been well for these 6 months. Just listen to the guy. I reported on it 2 months ago. Fury said, "Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't want to fight AJ. I need a rest. Oh," that's what he said. "I need a rest. I'm tired and AJ's in my head and etc, etc." So it's no shock. And this is the thing, what gets me the most here is the fact that I try to tell everyone. I tried my best, I really did. And I had goofy dons telling me, "YB, you need to apologise and the fight's on and I can't wait to see your apology." And now look at you, all washed up. And you know what I love the most? What I love the most about you man who was looking for apology, yeah? You man, I haven't seen none of you apologise. You know what I'm saying? The actual dons, yeah, who need to apologise because the fight ain't on, you man are quiet. Yeah. Or you know, the ones there where people was begging for the apology. Where's yours at then? Because you were so desperate. Me, I don't care. I couldn't care less if you do or don't apologise. But I find it quite ironic that the same dons who was sniffing around for an apology, you man had a quiet looking, had a quiet sounding right now. Yeah. Anyway, listen, this ain't gonna be a long one today. End of the day, I'm glad that Eddie Hearn is finally airing Fury out. And this should be the start of new things. AJ and Hearn. I tried to tell you. I said to you, listen, Eddie. And I think, to be fair, I'm almost convinced at 100%. I'm actually hearing it. The reason AJ aired Fury out was because he started listening to my videos. And I said, AJ, yes, you got some team who love to milk you, but the bottom line is, yeah, let me give you some advice. You and Eddie being moist and trying to lick arse to get this fight, it's not going to make a difference. Back in the 80s, or whenever else, historically speaking, when people want to fight, they fight. If anything, having bad blood, it helps the fight get on. You know what, I want to push his wig back. Let me get in there with him. If you've got scary looking ass dons like Fury, he was horrible to me. I don't want to fight him. Fury crying about Wilder was horrible to me. I don't want to fight him anymore. Wilder crying, he called me a hill. Anytime I hear whining, how you can have a 6'5", 300-pound man crying about what someone said about you? But the minute I hear that, I know it's not happening. Yeah? So it's, YB, you must be 200 IQ because you knew exactly what was going to happen. Not really. Well, yeah, you're right, but apart from that, listen. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. Whenever you see a 300-pound man crying about what someone said about them, you know they ain't serious. Yeah? So, I don't think the fight ever going to happen. Now, it ain't happened now. It ain't never going to happen, really. I just don't see it happening. And on that basis, like I said, finally, Eddie Hearn and AJ are listening to what the YB said. That's what you're going to have to start doing, people. Start listening. Not sitting there and trying to be smart about things, because you end up wrong. That's what happened. Listen, what we do know is, you dons who try to be smart, you're wrong. Yeah? You're wrong. And that's why, don't try to do the thing and let me do it for you. Because it's clearly not working out for you. That's why you was wrong and I was right. No doubt. Yeah? End of the day, AJ, Eddie Hearn. Air these dudes out. From now on, yeah, if I was you, yeah, and I ever deal with Fury and Wilder again, it's all going public. And if they don't like it, they can FUCK off. I don't care if you like it or not. Simple as that. That's how I'd do it. From now on, it's going to be all aired out from the jump. There ain't going to be no goofy stuff going on from now on. I'm not doing it. I'm not wasting my time, because guess what? I'm happy, or Team AJ are happy, to publicly disclose it. So if you're not, you know what I mean? Keep it. Because all this hiding behind closed doors, how's it worked out for you? All this licking ass Eddie Hearn's been doing. Oh, I don't want to say anything. And, oh, Frank's working really hard. And Bob Aaron's working really hard. How's that worked out? They mugged you off and then in 2 days had their other fight done. That shows how easy it is to get fights done. And I've even got some goof saying, YB, yeah, look how quickly Wilder and Fury got done. That proved it's Eddie Hearn and AJ. Oh, man, I can't do it anymore. And that's why I said to you, man, I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not doing it no more. From now on, it gets done in a month, or it don't get done at all. Because they've proven when they want to do a fight, it gets done. So from now on, if I was Team AJ, I'd say we're only ever going to give these dudes 4 weeks of our time. Otherwise, we're going to move on. Because they ain't serious. And I said to you, man, I've never heard of anything taking 6 months, ever. And even it was 6 months and still wasn't done. It's unparalleled. So, again, I was right. But from now on, if I was Eddie Hearn and AJ, I'd air these dudes out at every opportunity. Because if they don't like it, then they ain't going to do the fight anyway. Any rational man, if I hear someone airing me out, yeah, if I hear someone being public about things, I'm thinking to myself, you know what, I'm going to knock that guy out. And if you're not thinking that, you ain't serious. And they're not thinking that. Fury's not. Fury don't think that. Fury don't want to go in there with AJ. Wilder don't want to go in there with AJ. They're scary. Wilder likes to fight a dude whose back's a double D. Wilder likes the idea of going in there with a man who has double D cups on his back. Yeah? That's what Wilder likes the idea of. Fury likes the idea of going in there with a dude who's a blown up light heavyweight. And that's simple as that. That's why things get done miraculously fast. AJ, he ain't got double D on his back. He isn't toting. AJ isn't toting 2 double D cups on his back. Which means Wilder ain't interested. He ain't interested in fighting someone 250 pounds of inside fightingness and athleticism. He ain't looking to do it. He don't want it. He wants to go in there with a dude with double D's on his back. Big soft looking ass. Fury, he don't want to go in there with someone 250 pounds, pure inside fightingness, who can actually dig away. Fury can't dig. Fury slaps, which works against light heavyweights, by the way. It's no surprise you always see footage of Fury in there with Josh Taylor and whatnot. He loves that. Fury loves going in there with people who are welterweights and light welters, and he loves it. So his favourite thing to do is go in there with people 7 weight divisions smaller than him. That's his little fetish. Same as Wilder. Wilder's little fetish is fighting dons with double D's and up on their backs. Look at them, just look around. I'm not being funny. But main Hearn, soft looking ass. He loves it, this Wilder. Wilder loves fighting people who are soft. Apart from Dillian White, but either way, listen. Eddie Hearn, AJ, you've started on the right path right now. Carry it on. Don't bend for no one. And I felt the vibe. Eddie Hearn was saying, I'm not confident about this fight happening. And yeah, that's the attitude you need to have. The attitude you and everyone else needs to get in their head now. This fight ain't happening. And if it does, that's what I've had for the last God knows how long. If it happens, great. I'm assuming it ain't, because you doing anything else ain't gonna work anyway. Assume it won't happen and treat it as such, because guess what? Fury and Wilder, yeah, have allegedly so much bad blood between them, but yet the fight can be done in 2 days. Explain that to me. Well, it's quite actually obvious, actually, because all that means is that when 2 people want to fight, regardless of anything else, it will get done. So you don't need to lick arse, Eddie. You don't need to be quiet, AJ. Because when two people want to fight, Wilder and Fury were allegedly just in court. So if some people can go from court to done in 2 days, that tells me, obviously, it can be done quickly when 2 parties want to fight. Anything else, people are dragging their feet. So you don't need to lick arse. You don't need to be quiet. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to pander to them. You need to come out, be honest, and talk the truth. Yeah? If Team Fury are playing games, tell people that. If they don't like it, who cares? They weren't going to be serious anyway. Because Fury and Wilder, they weren't getting along at all. But yet they got it all whacked out real quick, didn't they? Which shows, end of the day, people want it, it gets done. And otherwise you end up mugging yourselves off. End up working and trying to do things. And what for? For what? And now people blame you anyway. They say, oh, Eddie should have known. Which is a fair argument. But the point is, what have you gained from licking ass and trying to just get along? What have you gained for that? Nothing. And now people blame you anyway. Oh, AJ didn't want it and Hearn didn't want it. They must have known. And whatever else. All the other arguments they've got blaming. You got Fisheye saying, oh, it's Eddie's fault. Eddie talked too much and that's what caused the arbitrator to... That's madness. But that's what you get, you see, when you try to be smart. Or when you try to be too nice. You get mugged off anyway. No one likes the nice guy. No one does. You're much better off just being ferocious. And at least then, when you're ferocious in business, at least then you get people who are serious. Because only serious people will turn up, kind of thing. When you've got to beg someone and send out social media tweets to try and make them feel bad and awkward like AJ was doing. AJ was having to send tweets out trying to taunt Fury. The minute you got to do that, you know it's not going to happen. And you got Fury counting down 2 days until what was that? How pathetic was that? And people actually had the audacity to watch that. You man, yeah. Some of you certain goofy dons, you watched Fury counting down. And then a week later, you was telling me that the fight's on. Are you stupid? You watched him counting down. What kind of mindset have you got to be in to say, oh, I'm counting down and I'm pulling out in 24 hours? And you actually thought that man was going to do this fight? And that's why you got bust all over your cart. And I haven't. That's why, because you stood there, or you sat there on your knees and was just waiting there, looking up at Fury, and he just busted all over you. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, that's why your face is all sticky and mine ain't. Looking hella silly looking. Yeah? Fury gave you the Father Christmas. All over your barnet. And now you're mad at me. Don't blame me that your face all sticky. That's on you, boss man. You know what I'm saying? It's on you to wipe up. Yeah? I tried to tell you, you didn't want to listen. You were saying me, no, YB, look. No, YB, he's not going to bust all over my face. He's not going to do that, no. Now look at you, looking all sad and feeling sorry for yourself. because you're a man and you've just been busted all over by Theory. But end of the day, what we know is, that's on you. You're the one who's on your knees, waiting, just looking up at Theory, thinking he was going to sign the contract. Instead, you got a face full of bust. So it is what it is. Listen, Eddie Hearn, AJ, stay on these goofies' necks. That needs to be the policy from now on. Anything else, in fact, I'm going to tell you now, if I hear anything else, if I hear, oh, we just want to get, if I hear any of that, oh, we just want to get along, if I hear any of it, I'm going to call it out. Because you're going to end up sad again. Draw the line in the sand. Any of these goofies, they're getting it from the jump. That doesn't mean we can't try and do business, but I mean, the minute you smell something fishy, you put it out there. The minute things ain't adding up, you put it out there. The minute anything goes against the grain, you put it out there. Because sitting behind closed doors ain't worked out for you. And you might as well provide some running commentary, just for banter. And if they don't like it, they weren't serious.